Today I fell for a little Ital soup using the few ingredients that are available to me or just whatever is in my kitchen at the moment. So let me show you how to do it.
Girl, you better can cook. Think you know you pay your pretty look. You want to live a restaurant and come done man bank book. Cook, recipe book.
So I started off with 5 cups of water and my water was already boiling at this point. The amount of water that you'll use in your soup depends on how thick you'd want your soup or how thick you like your soup. I do not like my soup thick, so maybe later on I'll add more water. So the water is boiling here. There's no salt or anything in the pot because I'm trying to be as idle as possible right now. I'm using carrot, pumpkin, corn, scallion, and thyme to season, but I'll also be using some other things later on. So this is about 1 carrot, about a cup of chopped pumpkin. This is 1 corn and some scallion and thyme. This will be the base of the soup, at least, and I have a Scotch bonnet pepper as well. The pumpkin and the carrot will serve as the base of the soup, and once the pumpkin boils out, that will help to thicken the soup. So be mindful of that. You put these in first because you want these to boil until they're really soft actually. And you could add more if you like pumpkin. I think this is more of like, this was more pumpkiny, and I love everything pumpkin, so this was really good for me. Alright, so once you have that all in, go ahead and add scallion and thyme. This is for flavor. This gives you the real Caribbean flavor. Next, you can add some allspice berries, or we call these pimento seeds in Jamaica. Trust me, this will give your soup a really good flavor. About 10 of these and that will be fine. When you're drinking your soup, you can just pick them out, but trust me, this will give your soup a great taste. So once I added those to the pot, next it was time for me to just cover the pot and allow allow the pumpkin and the carrot to kind of cook out. Well, the pumpkin will get really soft and that will help to form the base. The carrot will be soft, but it won't be as mushy as the pumpkin. Here I'm adding 1 vegetable bouillon cube, and we said we're going IItal, so we're not adding in the chicken one, but if you have the chicken one and you'd like to add it, that's also fine, but today this is strictly IItal. After I cover my pot and leave this, after about 5-6 minutes or so, the pumpkin is nice and soft and it's all like smashed out in the pot, and that's great because that's the base. Now I'm adding 1 corn that I split in 4 parts. If you want to add other things, now is the time for you to do so. I had some white yam, so I added about 5-6 pieces of the white yam, and that was enough ground provision for my little IItal soup because I was just using whatever I had on hand at the time. Now that's it for the ground provision, but this is the vegetable that I'll be using in the soup. Only this because this is what I have, or this is what I had at home at the time. This is a mix between celery and lettuce, so it's not too soft. It doesn't get too soft when you add it to the soup. Now at this point, this was tasting really good. If you want to, you can add some salt or some special seasoning to yours, but because I'm going to like spice this up the Jamaican way using cock soup, I never thought that it was necessary for me to add any salt because cock soup is already salty. Now look at the bubbles that are coming up right now in the soup. I added a little bit of seasoning to this, the same seasoning that's in the cock soup first, and this was quite fine. This was like good right then and there, but I wanted the pumpkin flavor from the pumpkin flavor cock soup, and these bubbles that you're seeing here now shows you that the soup is really thick. Personally, thick soup is not for me. Thick soup, thick porridge, not for me. But if I'm making this for someone else, I'll probably make it to their liking. I just tested the yam. The yam is nice and soft, so now it's time for me to go in with the cock soup. First, I'm going in with a little spicy cock soup mix. Trust me, it's not that spicy. This is for the flavor, for a little hint of something something. When it comes on to the noodles in the cock soup, I don't want them in it because, hey, if you add all these noodles, it's going to be a thick soup and I definitely don't want that. So I'm just trying to get that little flavoring from the spicy mix. And I've had this little half of this bag of spicy mix for a while, so there wasn't much of the seasoning part of it. More noodles than seasoning. So after this one, I'm going to go in with the normal pumpkin cock soup mix, which is more just adding more flavor to the soup. So this one has less noodles and more seasoning. So this is what you want to really season your soup, to get your soup nice and tasty rather. So I wouldn't advise you to add salt prior to this because this is salty. This is salty. The little seasoning I added before was salty and the bouillon also is salty. So I wouldn't advise you to add any salt. Now right now this is thick, and that which I just added to this will get it even thicker. As I said, I do not like thick soup. I do not like thick porridge. So you'll see me adding some little water, a little water here and there, but it's to get it to my liking because this was all for me. I added a Scotch bonnet pepper just now, but this is strictly for flavor. I won't allow this to open or anything because, hey, I can't do a pepper pot soup right now, and that's not what I am going for. So I added a little bit more water to get it to the consistency that I like. If you do not like it, if you like your soup thick on the thicker side, you can add the noodles. No need to add more water, but this is the consistency that suits me. Now this is basically finished, so this is the time when I'm adding this vegetable. You can add any vegetable of your choice. This is a mix, or this is a blend of celery and lettuce. So when I'm going to let it sit in the soup for about 3 to 5 minutes. And the good thing about this is after 3 to 5 minutes, it won't be mushy. You know, it won't be too soft. So that is why this is perfect for me. And on this day, it was so cold. It was such a cold day. And I wanted to just have a little vegetable soup before I had something else to eat later on. So add that in, and then after 5 minutes, this is what you'll be left with. No need to boil this any further. The yam has been cooked. The corn is cooked. The pumpkin and the carrots are both boiled out. Now to serve the soup, you can remove the Scotch bonnet pepper unless you love pepper. I also like to remove the scallion and the thyme, just not to get those in my bowl. I mean, I don't like them in my bowl, so I'm going to remove these as well. As it relates to the pimento seeds, oh, they can stay because they're very obvious when you're trying to drink some of the soup and so on. But the stalk of the thyme and the parts of the scallion that I can see, I'm definitely going to remove these. And then all I'm going to do is serve up a nice bowl of this. Yes, this may not be your kind of thickness, but this is just how I love my soup. I have never failed on this recipe. This is always so delicious, and this is just perfect for the colder days. Fall is coming, winter is coming, so please try this recipe and let me know what you think in the comments section below. Of course, if you like the video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, visit my website at romaskitchen.net. Thank you for watching once more. Until next video.